Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video, and today, DICE have finally made the correct changes to one of the most overpowered weapons I would say that Battlefield 2042 has seen in a good long time, and that is of course the VHX. Guys, if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be covering everything going into Season 7 when it arrives this March, and everything beyond Season 7, whatever it may be, so feel free to tag along for that. Okay, so the balancing of this weapon requires a little bit of a story. So this weapon was released, of course, with Season 6, as most of you will know. It was pretty much proclaimed as the best weapon in the game right off the bat, and it has been, I would say, the best weapon in the game for many weeks and months. A few weeks back, I made a video talking about the weapon because I think, if I speak for myself and a lot of you guys from what I've seen from the comment section, we were all just kind of getting tired of the VHX meta and from us all just seeing that weapon proliferated amongst the battlefield way too often. And so after I made that video, coincidentally it seems, DICE came in and they made a little bit of a change to the weapon, and essentially what they did is gave it a buff. So they reduced its horizontal recoil, and then they mildly nerfed the dispersion, but it didn't really make the slightest bit of difference to the weapon at all. I went and tested it out, and it just felt no different to me, and I don't think it really did to most of you guys either. Spin on to today then, and it seems here that DICE have finally made the correct decisions. So there was a back-end server update here, so this didn't require any kind of a client update on your guys' end, so you may not have even noticed that this nerf went live here, but this is what they've changed now with the VHX. So for the standard issue and the subsonic ammunition, they have changed the damage model for 0 to 20 meters down to 22 damage. Now if you guys actually go back and watch my video on the VHX, which is called "This weapon is breaking the meta of Battlefield 2042, you can see on screen there some of the old statistics which have now been updated, so you can't actually go and look at that in Sorrow's spreadsheet, but you can see some of the old statistics there, and the damage model it used to have is, it used to actually do 26 damage from 0 to 4 meters, 25 damage from 5 to 9 meters, and then 24 damage from 10 to 19 meters. So now it essentially just does a flat 22 damage from 0 meters all the way up to 29 meters, which means that it can no longer two-shot people in the head. For those of you who know your assault rifle statistics, the headshot multiplier for assault rifles in Battlefield 2042 is actually 2.15. So if you do the math here, 24 damage times 2.15 is 51.6, which obviously if you double that is over 100 damage, and that's going to kill you. 22 damage, however, times 2.15 is only 47.3, and that times 2 is 94.6. So if you two-shot people in the head now at those sorts of ranges, they are going to be like very much almost dead, but critically, they won't actually be dead. So I think that's a really good change. That was definitely one of the strongest parts of the VHX. It really felt like whenever you hit a headshot, say goodnight. You know, the enemy is just going down in a split second, and sometimes I think when you get killed by the weapon yourself, it feels like you get one-framed because the time to kill there was just so super lightning fast. This is also, of course, going to make a big difference when you're going for somebody at these ranges and you hit one headshot and then you hit the rest body shot. So if we do a bit of math here, with the previous damage model, 24 damage, one headshot and 2 body shots would actually come out to 99.6 damage. Now, I'm not sure how the damage model works exactly in Battlefield. Maybe it rounds the number up to a whole number, so if you take 99.6% damage, perhaps the game just decides that you died. But I suspect that the damage numbers may be more complicated than that. Maybe you can still survive on 0.4% of health, and it just indicates that on screen for you as you having maybe 0% health or 1% health. However, if that isn't the case, that means that one headshot and 2 body shots would have previously killed you, and now it's going to take you 1 headshot and 3 body shots. So the time to kill of this weapon at those shorter ranges has been increased by a significant margin here. And if we take a look at the higher power ammo, we have seen much the same changes there. So in the 0 to 4 meter range, damage has been reduced from 28 down to 25, 20 to 29 meters, it's been reduced again from 24 down to 22, so that you can no longer two headshot kill there either. And then in addition to that, we have an increase to dispersion. So they say here they have increased dispersion by small amounts while standing and moving, and crouching and moving. So pretty much whatever you're doing with the weapon, you are now going to see more dispersion. And then when it comes to the recoil side of things, they've actually rolled back the recent changes where they buffed the horizontal recoil by 10%. They have now rolled those changes back and decided in hindsight that that was probably a bad idea, because for me, one of the only things that made me miss my shots with the VHX at those medium to longer ranges, which was, you know, where the weapon was extremely effective, was that horizontal recoil. So that has now been put back in place, and then they've also increased the vertical recoil by 5%. So I have to say, on paper, this looks like a much more meaningful nerf here. I have just popped in game and played a couple of rounds with the VHX, and I can tell you guys that the weapon still feels completely viable. It's by no means completely dead, like a lot of people I've noticed have been putting out that sentiment, like, oh no, DICE have killed the VHX. I really don't think that they have. It's probably just going to be put in its place as certainly one of the better assault rifles in the game, but, you know, not necessarily worth taking over a lot of the others like the M5 or the GEW or the AM40. I have to say, though, it does tickle me slightly that it took DICE such a long time to come to this conclusion here that this is what needed to be done, especially when myself and other content creators and just, you know, people in the community have been saying to put these exact changes in the game for months and months now. You know, I can understand from DICE's point of view, they don't want to act too rashly and nerf something too early and overly nerf it and then have to roll things back here. But I mean, we're pretty much at the end of Season 6 here, so who knows, maybe there is also some monetary incentive for them. Maybe they want people to be able to be kind of OP with that weapon for many, many weeks and months while they unlock it in the Battle Pass. But then again, we've all unlocked it a long, long time ago, and we're pretty much used to it at this point. So there you have it, guys. There is your weekly news. I wish I had more interesting things to share with you guys here on the channel. I really do. Here's hoping that later on this week, maybe DICE are going to drop some sort of new information about Season 7. I have seen some of you guys asking me if I could put a video together with my thoughts on what I want to see from the next Battlefield game, what I want to see from Season 7, and those sorts of speculative, thoughtful videos. So let me know down below in the comments if that's something that you do want me to put out there. I just, you know, I'm not a big fan of going over things that I've already said and rehashing content. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you missed this one the other day where we were giving DICE some of our meaningful feedback here and we took the Battlefield 2042 survey, feel free to go and check that one out. Special thank you to my members and Twitch subs for your additional support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in another video.